Hi, and good afternoon. My name is Bobby Kayla, and I'm with PayPro Administrators, and I am pleased to be showing this presentation to all of you for the benefits of a flexible spending account. We all have expenses that we pay for each year, such as prescription medications, first aid kits, sunscreen, glasses or contact lenses, teeth cleanings, orthodontia, and some people pay for child or dependent care expenses. Those kinds of expenses are currently paid for on an after-tax basis, but if you have a flexible spending account, you can pay for these same types of expenses on a completely tax-free basis and save on average 30% or more in taxes. There's two types of flexible spending accounts here. One is child or dependent care expenses, and the other one is health care expenses. The child or dependent care category would be expenses that you incur for the care of a child or a dependent so that you can go to work or school. And the healthcare FSA is out-of-pocket expenses for you and your family's medical, dental, and vision care. We'll dive a little bit deeper into the dependent care FSA first. This category would cover child care expenses for your dependent family members that are under the age of 13 years old. So child care costs from the time they're born all the way through preschool are eligible. And then once they hit kindergarten or higher, it would be before and after school care and summer day camp expenses, etc. Now, if you have someone who lives in your home and they're over the age of 13, if they're physically or mentally incapable of caring for themselves, it would also cover that dependent care. The expense always needs to be work-related, so both parents, or if it's a single parent, must work or go to school on a full-time basis in order to utilize this category. Again, you can include costs for before and after school care and even summer day camps. The maximum amount that you can pre-tax in this category is $5,000 per plan year in a calendar year. It's also a household maximum. If you are single head of household, you can elect $5,000, but if you're married filing your taxes separately, then the maximum is $2,500 per person. Please see the guidelines for details on the child care category. And remember, you can't claim the child care credit on your taxes if you're pre-taxing the expense with your FSA. That would be considered double dipping on your taxes. And so for the healthcare FSA, that category would be used for folks that have out-of-pocket medical expenses. Now, even though you've got dental insurance or vision insurance through your employer, this category would cover the costs that you pay for out-of-pocket in addition to that. If your spouse is on a different health insurance plan altogether, it doesn't make any difference. It's what kinds of expenses are you and your family going to pay out of pocket. And under the Affordable Care Act, you can also include the expenses of your children up to the age of 26, regardless if they're on your health insurance plan or if you claim them as a dependent on your taxes, you can still include their expenses. But over-the-counter drugs and medicines are not eligible unless your doctor has provided you with a written prescription, and that would need to be submitted along with your claims. And the maximum amount that you can contribute to your health FSA is $2,650, which is the limit in 2018. We expect that this limit will change to $2,700 for 2019 plan year. Please see your employer for information about changes. One of the things that the healthcare FSA doesn't reimburse or cover would be expenses that are primarily cosmetic in nature, such as teeth bleaching or facelifts. It can be a little tricky to figure out what expenses are eligible or not eligible, so we've got a pretty extensive list on our website. We also have something called FSA Store on our website. Please go and see it, and you'll see thousands of items that you can use and purchase for the Health FSA and different services that can be rendered that are also eligible. So how the plan works. Once a year during your open enrollment, what you want to do is determine the amount that you think you and your family are going to be paying out of pocket for healthcare expenses. And if you pay for child or dependent care expenses, you'll want to figure that category separately. Now, the amount that you come up with would be your annual election amount, and that dollar amount would then be divided by the number of payroll checks you're going to have in the upcoming plan year. If you were paid twice a month or 24 times per year and you elected $2,400, the $2,400 would be divided by 24 paydays, and that would equal out to $100 per paycheck. So when payroll occurs, you're going to have your gross pay, and before any taxes are calculated, $100 in this example would come right off the top. So you'll be earning the same amount of money, but the amount of money that you earn that you have to pay taxes on is less. $100 would go into the flex account, although your paycheck would feel more like $75 is missing because it's pre-tax. Now, as you incur claims or have expenses, you can have access to the money in your flex reimbursement account by either using the PayPro benefit card, or you can send a claim form to us and we'll reimburse you for the expense. So the PayPro benefit card is a lot like a credit card, but it only works at medical facilities, pharmacies, doctor's offices, chiropractors. If you elect to join the plan and sign up for the Healthcare FSA, you'll receive this card in the mail. It looks like junk mail when it comes to you, so keep an eye out for it. Now, the card can be used right at the register or at the point of sale or at the reception desk when you're leaving your office of the doctor. Just swipe it and the amount will automatically be deducted from your Healthcare Flex spending account, and it'll be paid to your provider or to the pharmacy. When you use the PayPro benefit card, please always remember to save your receipt and request itemized receipts and save those in a file somewhere. If we request a copy of a receipt, you'll need to submit an itemized expense that indicates the nature of service, such as what was provided. Was it a dental cleaning? Was it a root canal? Was it a physical? We'll also need to know the date that the expense was incurred, what your cost was, who provided the service, such as which doctor's office or what pharmacy, and then who in your family that expense refers to. If you don't submit those receipts upon request, unfortunately your card would be suspended. And this is an IRS rule. It's not our rule. A little bit more about the PayPro benefits card. Your card's valid for a number of years, so don't throw it away once you've spent all of your Healthcare FSA dollars. You'll see right on it, it does have an expiration date, and if your card is close to expiring, you'll typically be receiving your new one about a month before. If you'd like an additional card for your spouse or an eligible family member, just give us a call or email us and we'll send you one. But remember, whoever uses a card must save and request itemized receipts, because if we request them and we don't get them, all of your cards are suspended. Now, one of the things about the Healthcare FSA is that FSA will reimburse you up to the amount you've elected for the whole plan year, regardless of how much you've contributed up to that date. So it's all available from day one. And the PayPro benefits card works for the Healthcare FSA only. Now, manual reimbursements are a way that you can have access to the money in your dependent care account, or if you paid for an expense out of pocket, we'd like to reimburse you for that. So you would use a manual claim for that. And there's a couple of ways that you can do a manual claim. You can go to our website, click on the digital claim form, or download a claim form itself. You can use the PayPro What's My Balance mobile app, and you can submit the claim directly to us. It'll actually allow you to input the information right on your phone screen. You can snap a photo of the itemized documentation, and it will come right up to us. Remember that always your itemized receipts need to accompany the claim, and they should again show the nature of the service or what was done, the date the expense was incurred, your cost, who provided the service, and who the individual is in your family that expense refers to. Once we receive your claim, we're going to take a look at it and make sure that it's eligible, that we have everything we need, and it will take us up to 3 business days to have it reviewed and entered for reimbursement. If you're enrolling in the Dependent Care FSA, please make sure to sign up for direct deposit of your FSA reimbursements. It's faster and there's no additional fee. And if you think you might have any manual claims or someone might be paying for expenses under healthcare out of pocket, also sign up for the direct deposit. There's no charge, and again, it's quicker. Now, the dependent care FSA will only reimburse you up to the balance in your account. It does operate differently than the healthcare FSA. So a couple of details about the plans. One, we have an app for that. Download the PayPro What's My Balance app. Through that app, you can submit claims, review balances, and more. One of the neat things about this app is that you can actually look up eligibility while you're at the grocery store, at the pharmacy, to see if an item is eligible. For example, I recently went to the pharmacy, and while I was waiting for a prescription drug to be picked up, I knew I was going to need some Band-Aids. So I clicked that on my mobile app, and it told me to place my phone over the barcode of that item, and it scanned it and told me it was an eligible item. I purchased it, and it put it on my benefit card. You can also go to our website, www.pagroup.us. Click in the upper right-hand corner that says Employer and Employee Flex Login. We have videos, worksheets, and you can shop for eligible expenses on there as well. You can only enroll during open enrollment or upon meeting initial benefits eligibility. And when you do enroll, all expenses need to be set up for those things that will be incurred during that plan year for which you're enrolling. Once you do enroll, your election amounts can't be stopped or changed unless you have a qualifying status change, and HR can verify that for you. Make sure to only elect what it is that you think you'll be using during the plan year. If you don't use your funds, at the end of the year and the year's run-out period, you would lose funds that are in there. So here's some details on that. Once the plan year ends, you'll have 90 days in which you can submit claims that were incurred during that old plan year. After that 90 days, if you leave any funds in the dependent care FSA, those funds are forfeited. Now, if you leave funds in the healthcare FSA after that 90-day run-out period, up to $500 can be carried over to the new plan year. If there are amounts in excess of $500, they are forfeited. So what are your next steps? Review some information on the Flex plans. It may be on your company's intranet, or you can go to our website and take a look at the details. Worksheets are available, and general information, again, is also on the website. Make sure and complete your enrollment, whether it's online or through a paper form. And if you're already on the plan and are re-enrolling, you do need to make a positive election. And then some contact information. We're PayPro administrators, your record keeper, and you can reach us at the telephone numbers below. Our customer service email is customerservice@pagroup.us, and you can submit claims to us at claims@pagroup.us. You do have a dedicated account service rep in the office. All you need to do is call the telephone number, dial 0, and tell them who your employer is, and we'll bring you through to the proper account service rep. If you are downloading the mobile app or registering in the participant portal for the first time, it will ask for your employer ID and your employee ID. Your employer ID is PPA-P2S. That stands for PayPro Administrators P2S. Your individual employee ID will be your Social Security number for the first time, and once you log in, you'll immediately be asked to change that. We are here to help you, so please call if you have any questions or need assistance.